son without a mom. What happened when you went to court?
Yeah. This is the first time this is like the moment where I heard the still small voice of God for the first time in my life. And I heard his voice that morning and I didn't know it was him. And so when I got to court, my attorney is like, look, you're facing some time. I'm like, I can't go back. There's still that resistance in me, even though I was like, oh, I surrender. I was still resisting. And he said, we're going to try to work out a plea deal. And then I go and sit down. And then I hear that still small voice again. And I hear, go talk to the DA. And I'm like, I have nothing to lose at this point. So I tell my attorney and he's like, I've already given you legal advice. Like, you're going to lose the case. And I was a bit of a loose cannon those early days too, Cheryl. I mean, I was just I'm still zealous, but I was just zealous with absolutely no wisdom. I was just like flying off the handle, like, everywhere I went. And so I'm sitting there and the DA turns around, looks at me and he walks in my direction. We walk outside the courthouse and he's like, so what's up? And I'm like, I don't know what's up. But I remembered all of the people that were discipling me at work taught me that God was truth. And so I was like, I'm going to tell him the truth about what happened that night. So I just unloaded. I told him I'm not the person that was in that car September 2nd. That's the night I got arrested. And I'm asking, I'm just basically just telling him, I'm sorry for what I've done. The drugs were mine. And he says, we all make mistakes sometimes. Have a great day.
So when I stand here and I look at this, I think, I just want to take all this down. What I don't like about this area.
And like my heart fell, just that, that in pit of your stomach feel. And my attorney looks at me and he's like, you're done. And I was like, I know I'm done. So I go to sit down and what felt like 20 hours was just probably about 15 to 20 minutes. And next thing I see is my attorney walking. He walks towards me and he holds up a yellow piece of paper that changes the course of my life. And the first thing that I saw was order of dismissal. And I'm like, what does this even mean? And he's like, Christina, you're free to go. And I'm like, what does that mean? He's like, you're free to go. And I grabbed my purse. I ran outside of the courtroom and fell on my knees. And I'm screaming at the top of my lungs. I mean, there's hundreds of people walking around, but that's what happens, Cheryl, when we have encounters with God, we become indignant. All of a sudden, it doesn't matter what we look like. It doesn't matter how loud we scream. It's just, you just don't care anymore. And I realize I'm like, it's all about you. And I don't care what I look like. But the moment that I had in the courtroom was this of surrender. Right before my attorney came and held up the piece of paper, I was like, that was my moment of true surrender. I was like, God, I know what you've called me to do, and I'll preach in jail and I'll tell people about you in jail. And I was like, just take care of my baby. And so it was like, that was the moment of true surrender. Because earlier I was like, no, I can't. And later I was like, okay, I surrender. Like I give it all to you. And it was just a few minutes after that he holds up that piece of paper that changes my life.
It's been 12 years since you started walking with God with no background or belief in him at all. How do you see God now? Who is he to you in your life?
He's everything, Cheryl. When I became a Christian, when I accepted Jesus into my heart, I realized that and it was like in one moment, I was like, I was made for you. I was made to bring you glory. I was made for you, by you. And that has never changed. It's just increased. The last 12 years have just been an increase of just passion for him, for all that he's done for me and what he does for others. And so when I get the question of like, what is Jesus? He's everything. He's my breath. He's my life. He's my sustenance. He's my provider. He's the bread that I eat. He's everything to me. And I want everybody to know that what he's done for me, he will do for anybody. How he set me free, he will set anybody free. Any prodigal, any drug addict, everybody is deemed a lost case. What he's done for me, he will do for you and the ones that you love.